most people in the Israeli government and most people in the US government are not actually calling for ceasefire. They might be like Biden saying things like they need to minimize civilian deaths, but he's not saying I demand a ceasefire right now. So they're actually not saying that, first of all. Most in the Israeli government are not saying that. Some in the Israeli government are saying literally we want to wipe out all Gazans. So that's the opposite of a ceasefire. That is just pro-genocide. She goes, we have to understand that tens, if not hundreds of military conflicts. Oh, yeah, I love this part. She says, hundreds of military conflicts around the world, and these people only demand that Israel have a ceasefire. Only Israel. Well, first of all, utterly false. Many of us, such as this guy, say that we need a ceasefire in all those instances. The proxy war in Ukraine, the assault and 20-year war in Afghanistan, which we only pulled out of last year, the destruction and killing of Iraq, of Syria, of Libya, of Yemen, so many countries. No, actually, many of us are declaring that all of those need to stop. So when she says, oh, they only are angry at Israel, bullshit. Secondly, if there are people out there that literally have woken up to Israel's genocide and demand a ceasefire, and they have not been outspoken or prevalent for other conflicts around the world, maybe it's because in the other conflicts around the world, they're not nearly the numbers or the scale or the rate that Israel is killing innocent people. That doesn't make the other conflicts okay. But Israel killed more innocent civilians in a month in Gaza than innocent Ukrainians were killed in the entire year and a half proxy war to that point. In a month. The average rate of the average mortality rate or whatever, the average murder rate, for lack of a better term, in modern war of children killed in modern war is like 6 to 8%. The studies have shown 6 to 8% children, which is still horrific. And I'm still opposed to it. Israel is killing something like 43, 45% children in their bombing. So for those people who have only woken up to the issue with Israel committing genocide, with Israel bombing aggressively and killing so many people, for those people, there's a reason they've only now woken up, and it's because the horror of what Israel's doing is on a scale that we have not seen in these other modern conflicts. We have not seen this. And even though the number killed by the U.S. in the war on terror, so the Brown University Cost of War found that the U.S. has killed 6 million people thanks to our global war on terror, first of all. Yet again, I'll say I have been opposed to and outspokenly opposed to all of those conflicts that count in the war on terror that are part of it. However, beyond that, even though 6 million is way more than the 23,000 that Israel has killed, the difference is that stretched over 20 years. And of those 6 million, 5 million of those were indirectly, which means you destroy a water system and then people die due to unclean water, or you destroy the ability to get food, or you destroy the ability to get to hospitals, etc. So many of those do not count on your average list for your average Americans. They don't know about the 6 million. They may know about a few thousand here and there, but many don't know about the sheer numbers. And Israel's death numbers, 23,000, is only counting direct deaths. That number does not count those who are and continue and will, especially in months to come, die from starvation, from lack of water, from disease, from dirty water, all of those things, which will be in the tens of thousands, if not way more. And those numbers are not on that list. So that is a big reason why people don't necessarily always understand the cost of war, as the study is called. But so her idea that people are only mad at Israel. Well, first of all, no. And secondly, for those who are only mad at Israel, it's because of the sheer scale of this genocide is so horrific that it has woken a lot of people up.